Okay, we're back.
Good.
Good. So what we're going to do now is a bit of coaching, okay, and it's going to be looking at your motivation. Now, you said earlier that you are quite highly motivated anyway, so that's excellent. But what we're going to do now is just talk about how your 7-day exercise and nutrition tracker looks. So we set some goals. You want to lose 5 kilos, and we know what you've been eating. We've looked at food groups, etc. And so now you're going to give me some feedback on what happened each day. Okay, but first of all, how closely did you follow your exercise and meal plan in the last week?
It was a bit of a topsy-turvy week because I had things come up that didn't allow me to stick to my schedule. For instance, on Sunday, I started the day at 5 a.m. So that was a bit extraordinary. And so I ate a couple of slices of nut loaf at 5 a.m. just to keep the wolves from the dawn. And then for morning tea, I had a gluten-free toastie at an event that I had to go to. That was why I was up at 5 a.m. And then I had various, I had satay lamb skewers for lunch at the event. And by the time I got home, I was pooped and I wasn't interested in cooking, so I had sardines on toast.
Okay.
So that sort of destroyed that day for my normal routines.
What about exercise for that day?
I was on my feet all day.
Okay.
So,
right. So we didn't
too
get the
bad I
heart
didn't
rate
have
up.
my tracker on. I wouldn't
Okay,
have had my heart rate up, but it was
But you were
just
still
continuous.
moving. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So I rated that day a 6 out of 10. So
Okay.
that was one of my. Otherwise, my other days, Monday, pretty much went to schedule and I fulfilled most of the obligations. On Tuesday, I didn't do my walk because I actually went and did an hour with an environment group, so a lot of walking, lifting, carrying for an hour in the morning on that one.
So with the environment group, what's that? Is that something you do regular?
I do that every week.
Okay.
Yeah,
And is
on
that
Tuesdays.
outside or?
Yeah, outside.
Okay.
And in that particular case, there are quite a few hilly bits, boggy bits. We had to pull up stakes and carry things. And
Okay.
yeah, so that was a fair amount of exercise, just a bit
And
different.
that's a regular thing that you're doing, so
yeah,
that's good.
yes,
Okay.
and I did.
Good to know.
forget-
Okay.
I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, well, this is it.
Yeah.
We do a lot of things sometimes and we don't realise
Yeah,
that it's actually it can be exercise. Yeah.
that's right.
Okay.
So Wednesday, I did reasonably well. I had an unusual interruption to the middle of the day, and I ate because I went to help out at a community event, and they actually had cooked a gluten-free pasta bake and apple crumble. So
Okay.
if I'd knocked it back, they would have been really disappointed when they'd gone out of their way to ensure that there were gluten-free options.
But that's fine. That's fine.
That
to
was
have
fine.
That,
So
isn't it?
in
Yeah.
the evening, instead of having a full meal in the evening, I had the apple and cheese routine with about half a sausage.
Okay.
But that's
that's good because
that
you've
was-
counterbalanced it.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah,
So
well,
that's fine.
I try.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And you're aware of that. You
Yeah.
have that motivation and
Yeah.
that skill set to recognise, rather than just go, oh well, I normally have this, or I had this out ready in my meal prep, so I'm going to have to eat it.
Right.
No. You came up with an alternative, so that's really good, Mary. Very good. Yeah. Okay.
So I try to make up for things. If I miss one, I try and make it up someplace else. So.
Okay. So really, you're already able to change the pathway, so to speak, with what you're doing. You can divert.
Yes,
and
but it's clearly still not as good as I would like. But
it to be. Okay.
you know, I guess these events are going to come up every now and again, and I've got to modify my daily routine.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So, if you could change anything from the last week, what would you change? If you could go back and change something, is there anything you think?
Yeah, I really don't like
improve?
missing out on my half-hour walk in the morning.
Okay.
So when I know because I've gotten into the habit, because I've retired, of not using an alarm. And so occasionally I sleep in, which is unheard of in the rest of my life, but never mind. And so it meant a couple of times I didn't get up early enough to do my 30-minute walk before I got into my day.
Oh, because of other commitments in the day that were already planned.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. What about, could you do a walk at the end of the day or the middle of the day? I mean, if it's winter time, it's easier to do that, obviously, here than summer. You can't walk in the middle of the day, but
I tend to, I don't have the world's best back, and after I've been on my feet for most of the day, it's not a very comfortable walk in the afternoon.
So your days are being on your feet more, so okay.
So like I've worn a tracker for a few days, and I'm doing 6,000-7,000 steps a day, just doing what I normally do. So, you know, I can still up the ante a little bit on that to get closer to 10,000 steps probably.
Okay. So, any other exercising that you've identified other than your
Saturday I did 2 hours of gardening, which was hefting a few things around, but my days break up. Depends what comes up. I can.
Are you happy with the food that you ate? The majority of it?
Yes, for the most part, yes.
There was just those special food that was cooked for you, and then getting up early one day at 5 a.m. Yeah.
Yes.
Other than that, you're quite happy. Okay, so so there's nothing really else that you could change except the fact that you missed your walk. What support do you need from me that would guarantee your success in the coming week? What can I help you with?
Oh, maybe just be that little voice in my ear that says how many steps have you done this week, or
so
are you slipping off the wagon?
Would you need some support then? Say you can feel comfortable in sending me a little text and going, I've done, like, report your
I can do that.
Steps at the end of the day.
If you don't mind getting annoying texts from
No, that's fine. If that you feel that you need to, if you feel that there's an obligation there to report, then that's fine. Often that will work. It's a good motivator.
No, I think that's fine.
Okay, and if you feel like you're falling off somehow, or there's something else comes up and you're worried that it's going to affect, say, 2 or 3 days, or if you get sick or something, then we can talk about what we can do to change things around, especially with your exercise, okay, because that's just as important. Is there any other questions you've got for me as your coach. Any other tools I can give you other than the eating guide and, you know, the weight loss program?
No, I think by the time I get stuck into the website, and I'm always collecting recipes and things like that. I mean, if you find a good recipe, I'll always gratefully receive a good recipe. I think one of my challenges is making sure I get enough water in.
Mm-hmm.
I drink tea ad nauseum. I probably have, on average, at least 6 cups of green tea a day. But
you probably need to
I
try
need
and
to get more water in.
Yeah, that's right. Can I just have a look at? Just have a quick look at that. And I just want to remind myself with. You definitely was to decrease the weight, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, it wasn't, and there wasn't anything else. Was it just your general cardiovascular? So, okay. And we've got the exercise program. Okay.
Yep.
Good. Now, what will you do if you don't feel like following the plan? What do? Are you always motivated every time you get up? Or do you find one day that I just really can't be bothered to exercise, or I want to stay in bed, or I'm feeling a bit depressed, or...
Very, very seldom.
Okay.
I'm pretty annoying, really.
No, I'm sure you're not. Okay, well look, all the best for next week.
Yep.
Again, give me a text, tell me about your steps, if that helps you.
Yep.
And anything else, any other obstacles you might come across during the week.
Yep.
Your meal prep seems to be okay, you're organised.
Yeah.
You go shopping once a week.
Yep.
We've gone through all of that, so just keep at it, and don't forget to weigh once a week. Okay, so I'm assuming you haven't weighed because you haven't mentioned if you did lose any weight.
No,
so you did,
I don't.
Yeah, okay.
I really don't tend to weigh myself at all.
So you go
I know by
the
my
waist,
pants.
how
Yes,
these fit.
exactly.
Okay, fine. Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right. Well, okay. Thanks very much, and
Thank you.
all the best. And I'll talk to you next week.
Terrific.
Okay. Thank you.
All
Okay.
right. Toodaloo.
Bye.